how's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today I'm really excited because we're going to be taking a look at my Night of the Demons Blu-ray collection. I have all 4 films here. When I first found the original Night of the Demons, it was really a pleasant surprise and quickly became one of my favorite horror movies. It was just so energetic and fun, and after I saw the first, I went out and I tried to find all the sequels. The big holdup was Night of the Demons 3, which up until recently was super hard to find on physical media. I am so glad Scream Factory finally put it out, but now I have all 4 movies here, and they are really interesting, and I really do love the energy and the atmosphere behind the series, and I like each movie in its own little way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch to the close-up camera, I'm gonna show you guys all the Blu-rays that I have, and I'll talk a little bit about each movie. Anyway, without further ado, let's take a closer look at these movies. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at my Night of the Demons Blu-ray collection. And of course, we're going to start with the original. This is the A cover from Scream Factory. This is what I saw sitting on the shelf, and I was curious, what's the movie like behind this? This is what got me to pick it up, and when I watched it, it was such a fun, pleasant surprise. But we got Linnea Quigley in the center with her lipstick heart on her face. We got Angela and Stooge, some of the best characters. Basically, we get this girl going to Hull House for a Halloween party with her friends. And, of course, Hull House is possessed. Not haunted, possessed. And on Halloween, the demons can come out, and they're going to slowly take over all these kids. And when they get taken over, they always have some really cool special effect gag behind them. If you guys are fans of things like Evil Dead or Return of the Living Dead, something that's, you know, kind of old school grungy, but with a lot of special effects, a lot of energy, and a good amount of comedy behind it. Night of the Demons was a super unexpected surprise. I watched it completely not knowing what it was, and it turned into one of my favorite horror movies. There's the spine, and we can see the cartoon of Linnea Quigley above Alice in Wonderland there. And there's the back with Angela in the demon form, and it does say the complete unrated version with extra violence and gore. Now, what I'm showing you is the main cover. This one does have a reversible with classic cover art. Let me flip it over for you guys really quick. And there's the classic poster for Night of the Demons as the other side. And we get Angela holding an invitation to her Halloween party in the classic tagline, "Angela is having a party. Jason and Freddy are too scared to come, but you'll have a hell of a time." And to be honest, the other side is what got me to pick it up, but I usually leave it on this because the Night of the Demons posters match with each other, the original trilogy, so I usually just leave it on this side to match with all of them. But to be honest, I love both covers, and the other side's really cool as well. We can see that the spine, they change it so Angela's there now. I like that they changed the spine. And they even change the back of it. We get to see a human version of Angela and different screenshots, including classic Linnea Quigley antics. And there's all the special features here. If we crack the Blu-ray open, we get to see the Blu-ray and the DVD in here, both with original poster artwork on them, which is pretty cool. We move on to Night of the Demons 2. Now, this one I do have in the original Olive Films Blu-ray, and that's sort of the thing, is I'm not a huge double dipper in regards to physical media. Like stuff I really like, or if it's a format I don't have, sometimes I double dip. This one does have an audio commentary as a special feature, but I know that Scream Factory would get out to do their version of this, and I know it has a lot more special features, so let me know if you guys think I should get the Scream Factory version of this. But this is the original Blu-ray. This is the first time it came out, and we get to see Angela, but this time she's got her creepy demon tongue, and she's licking a lollipop that's a skull. Angela's throwing another party. And this one, it's developed quite the cult following. To be honest, I love the first a lot more than this one. This one's a little rough and not quite as well put together, but it does have a bunch of cheesy horror movie antics behind this, and there are definitely a few memorable scenes, and I know there are a few people that like this one more than the original, but basically, Angela and all the people who got possessed in the first movie have disappeared, and no one really knows what happened to them, which is going to leave Angela's younger sister very concerned for what happened to her. Well, cut to Halloween later on, she's at a Catholic school, and there's a bunch of rowdy bully characters there, and they're going to drag her back to Hull House, the very place where her sister disappeared, and of course, they're going to find her there. And even though the demons aren't supposed to be able to leave Hull House, they do find a little tricky workaround so that they can wreak some havoc on the, Catholic school campus, and there's a lot of fun, wacky characters. I mean, this is the guy that directed Leprechaun 4 in Space, and I think the priest in this movie actually had a cameo in Leprechaun 4, so that's cool as well. And there's the disc with this red puff of smoke and the logo. So yeah, Night of the Demons 2 is a wacky, fun ride, and I definitely recommend checking it out. Now, the third one, this is Night of the Demons 3, I believe in maybe England. It's sometimes known as Demon House. This one came out a little later, and it's considered the worst in the series, and it is, but it's not as bad as people say. But because it didn't have a great reputation behind it, this had a very limited physical media release for a very, very long time. That is until Scream Factory came to the rescue and put out this Blu-ray, and I mean really recently. It was like within the last year or two they finally put this thing out, and I was super glad to pick this up. We get another picture of Angela. This time she has a martini with 2 eyeballs in it, but you know how I said I keep the first one on the classic poster? That way we get all 3 Angela pictures and they all match. That's pretty cool. There's the back where we get to see some gags from the movie, and basically the idea is it's once again Halloween, but there's some rowdy punk kids. They pick up our 2 leads, the cheerleader and the nerdy girl, and when they're out in their van, they wind up getting into a shootout at a gas station, and they hide in Hull House while the police are looking for them. So yeah, I think that is one of the bigger problems with this, is they're not wacky partying kids, they're on the run from the law, and that makes the movie a little bit less fun. It's not quite as well put together, the characters aren't quite as good, but I do want to say it's actually not that bad, and they do get up to some wacky and fun antics, and by the end of it, things heat up enough. It's not as good as the past 2, it is the worst in the franchise, but I think it's a little bit underrated, and I say if you're a fan of the franchise, go ahead and check it out. One thing I really do like, this shot here is from the opening scene of the movie. The first Night of the Demons has a fun cartoon opening credit scene. This one, they do 90s CGI, and it looks kind of bad, but it's kind of got a campy charm to it now. There's the bonus features there, and they do have quite a bit going on. I will say that it does say alternate director's cut and the TV cuts in here as well, but keep an eye out for their in standard definition. Yeah, for whatever reason, they're like really raw film looking. It's not great, and I wouldn't recommend watching the movie for the first time in the director's cut version. Like, there's large parts where the sound's missing, but it is interesting to see a few alternate ways the scenes could have gone. But yeah, lots of special features. Anyway, slide this off. The undercover is the same as the front, and I kind of wish they gave us a good B cover, but if we crack it open, you can see that we just have the Blu-ray here, sadly no DVD. And behind it, we get the car's headlights about to plow into this guy. So it's cool that they do have something on the back. The Olive Films one didn't have anything. But that being said, I wish it was reversible cover art with a new poster. Anyway, close that up, slide it back in, and let's move on to the next one. After the original Night of the Demons trilogy, we would get the Night of the Demons remake. And while I still definitely prefer the original Night of the Demons, Night of the Demons the remake really does have a lot of fun and energy behind it, and it's actually, I think, a pretty fun remake. Again, Not as good as the original, but it's fun. One of the things the movie is most known for is a lot of the girls in here are very beautiful, so they put this slipcover on here to highlight the female actresses. If we slide the slipcover off, this is the standard poster for it, with Whole House there and this hand reaching up and the pumpkins there. One thing that's kind of interesting is if we look at the spines for the slip and without the slip, it's both the same girl up top, but we get the pumpkin versus the hand reaching out. The backs are mostly the same, but things are moved around and it's orange versus red. That's kind of weird. But we get audio commentary and a behind the scenes. But with the new one, it's got, I think a few of the demons are a little over-designed, like they gave Angela horns here, and it's like they're grown-ups now and she was actually hired to throw a professional big party, and there's much more rules as to who the demons are and what they can do. Overall, like I said, the original's better, but the remake is still a pretty fun time. Anyway, crack it open. I don't know what it is with the Night of the Demons people, but I think 3 of them have had these little doors on there. Anyway, I do love the inner cover here. Yeah, no reversible, but we already got 2 different covers with the slip. But I love the inner cover. We get to see the kids in all their demon forms. There's Angela down there. And if we take the disc out, that's pretty much just negative space over there. But the disc is the standard poster for the movie. Anyway, crack that closed. And there they are. All 4 Night of the Demons movies. I have to say, I really do love this series, and I think even the worst one, which is, part 3, even the worst one isn't that bad. They always have this fun, maniacal party atmosphere. They always do some special effects, and they always have where the kids, when they get possessed, they have some cool design or special ability behind them. There's so much creativity and energy and life in this series. I really do like it. I know that there was a 4K upgrade I could get for this. I know there's a Scream Factory edition I can get for part 2. Let me know if you guys think I should upgrade any parts of my collection. But that being said, I do have all 4 of them on Blu-ray, and for the longest time this one was missing, and I really do like what I have here. Anyway though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Night of the Demons franchise playlist. If you want to see me review each of these movies individually, click right there and you can see more. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.